Welcome back, folks, once again to Final Fantasy XI. We're getting... though we've been deep into Rhapsodies, but now we're even deeper. Starting of Chapter 3. Now, just a heads up that there are 35, again, 35 quests in this particular set. In this last chapter. Not counting the epilogue. I'm hoping we can get through like half of them, but honestly, if we can pick up Rhapsodies in Puce, which is 319, I think we'll be great. Otherwise, yeah, because we're gonna pick up Rhapsodies in Fuchsia here shortly, and that'll only leave basically two things. Well, major key items. Rhapsodies in Ochre and Scintillating Rhapsody, which is the sign you've done everything. But, we'll see how far we can get. We shall see. And we can begin by going back to Lathane. Up and away we go. For where we stop, surely we do not know. It is windy out here in Lathane. And exactly like we did before, we gotta go all the way to the dimensional portal as opposed to the other location. Ah, the red moon rises. Ominous. And we can go to Jima. This place we've heard so much about, but have never seen. Now, Jima is essentially functions very similarly to how the Esha locations have, but not quite. It does function very similarly and that it is, I believe, considered a section of Esha, though technically is separate. And also does not come in the black and white variety. This one is always in color. If all the pictures I've seen say anything, mean anything. Here we go. Do I have any more roar seals to be upgraded? Yes! Rare enemy apparently is one that's been upgraded. It can be upgraded. Luck can as well. No more roar seals for you. Receiving the Elvor seal means the dragon. Interesting. I must have already grabbed the map, so that's not a big deal. Anyway, speaking with Shiftrix here actually does something. Azim, one of the people you can get some beginning to end game I-115 items from, will now offer to upgrade his items. You can now enhance them. It is suggesting we grab a mollifier, and I don't know why. Now we must make our way to K9 for a cutscene. That is all the way at the end. Simply follow the path. There is no shortcut. This is true. Alright. We are probably going to get pretty close to being overwhelmed here. Though I did do some trust upgrading, so they'll do more damage than they used to do, and now we've grabbed even more enemies. Go to sleep! A bunch of you. It appears not all of them have gone to sleep, but some of them have. No. You all go to sleep. Get me through so I can attack things. There we go. I should mute my Discord. The number of times I've forgotten to do that is far more than it needs to be. I'm not even trying to capacity farm or anything, just... They are actually dropping quite a lot of capacity points and limit points, so this would actually not be a terrible area to be, Well, Nashmiera is about out. That'll at least put the tigers to sleep. They shoved me out of the way, making me waste it. Oh, really? Put those tigers back to sleep. Good lord. Are we even going to be able to kill these things before they respawn? I'm asleep now. Joy. It's not looking like it, because I swear there were only 3 eyeballs. Now there's 4 of them. Oh yeah, there's more. The eyeballs just had another... Oh, good God. One of the cricket things almost just showed up, and I'm like, good lord, really? Oh great, the snaggletooth. The tigers are respawning. I may just have to try and run past these things because, I didn't mean to draw all of them. It just kinda happened. Oh, did he grab the cricket thing? Please tell me you didn't. Emergency maintenance? Wait, what? Eyeballs are aggressive. It appears they will be doing maintenance. Valnarial! Seriously! Good God! Good God. We are just running. If they kill Valnerial, well, that's not good, but whatever at this point. I was not expecting a continuous fight of forever and death. Of course you're all here. They killed the Valnerial. Now, the frickin'... Let's try this again, shall we? I was not expecting a continual fight of forever. See, and that's at 10:30 Pacific. Let's see, it's currently 11:30 Central, which means 10:30. Oh, 10:50. Mountain, which means 9:50. Oh, good lord, that could literally gonna interrupt us midstream. I didn't know anything about this. This emergency maintenance. They normally don't do those on like a Wednesday morning. Yeah, they're saying not to be in Reisenjima at the time. Joy. Nope, we have to go all the way to the dimensional portal in order to get to Reisenjima. And some even have true sight or true sound. Oh, joy. And considering the sheer volume, I'm not even sure what you're supposed to do. It's probably those eyes that have true sight. Let us try that again. If I had to guess, it's the eyeballs, but one truly does not know. Just look at them. There's just so many enemies. Just so many eyeballs. Trying to avoid the eyeballs. Yeah, I have no clue what the blue dots on the map are for. If we aggro them, we have no choice. Well, that would have hit us. So I'm not... We're making progress. And I have been forced offline before, so it's not like this is the first time the game has done it. Though this is the first time I'll be on stream. That's terribly annoying. Try and stick as wide as possible around the eyeballs. If anything has true sight, it should be the floating eyeballs. Maybe the Razzes or the Fazzes, maybe? But even then I would doubt. The Mantises, I could see them. Though they don't appear to be aggressive, so... that's at least a positive. And we're almost to the first actual warp point, which is good. Though if I'm reading the map correctly... I don't believe I am. I was saying it should be down here, but it is clearly not. Clearly not. Yeah, there it is. So we'll at least be able to do some... At least we'll be able to make some progress as we get further and further in. Technically, we should be able to hit up 3 and 4, but I'm only concerned now with getting 5 and 6. There are technically more than just the 6 that are here, but they're associated with the domain invasion / Quetzalcoatl thing, and another one's useful for the Geist Fate. Tigers. I'm not seeing the amount of enemies having decreased at any point. I am aware Oh, porksies! I forgot those were a thing. We have literally a half hour. So we won't get anything that I really wanted to get done, but if we can at least unlock the warp point, we should be fine. Because I don't know when it'll be back up. Emergency maintenance could be 20 minutes, could be 30 minutes, could be an hour, could be several hours. I do not pretend to know. I wouldn't be surprised if the porksies also have true sight. Oh, the hippogriff. The hippogriffs do. Either that or sound wore off. I don't see anything on the official forums about it. There it is, maintenance. That's the 10th and the 11th. That's not what they're talking about. So yeah, it's in emergency maintenance. Which... that's terribly annoying. That's terribly annoying. Oh well. We'll have made a little bit of progress into Resinjima. We might have even gotten a first cutscene done for Chapter 3. But large progress that I was hoping to make, yeah, that's not happening. And again, it's because it's an emergency maintenance, they won't have an estimate as to when it's supposed to come back up. Emergency maintenance could be any number of things. Those mosquitoes. And when I say anything, that could be actually anything. Could have something to do with the... oh. I freed up a whole bunch of those. Whoops. And that's fine. I had a bunch of them right nearby completion anyway. I would not be surprised if these things also have true sight and sound. They appear to not. This is good. No, I think they do. They, in fact, do not. This is good. Very tough. Oh, joy. Actually, a place I would come and find some levels off of. We made it. To the Sanctorum itself. These whispers on the wind, are they meant to mock me? It's me. Master? Oh, Master, not even Altana herself can comprehend the joy I feel at hearing your voice. And to think you followed me to a land that must seem at the end of the world. Master, do you remember when we returned to the Mother Crystal? The blessing of Phoenix was with me in full force. And I closed my eyes, pleading with her to give you breath once more. But you began to flicker and fade, and my heart sank at the thought of never seeing you again. But now, Master, you do my heart good. Me? You wish to know what I was doing? When the light came to my eyes, I was back here, in Reisenjima. Although the time I hail from is only years into the future, not centuries, I can scarce believe how much of it has changed. Thank the powers that I was able to reach this stone. I lifted my voice in prayer, and the spirit saw fit to cure me of my ills. I know not whether it was the protection of the goddess, but I found myself with corporeal form yet again. You weren't attacked on the way? Master? Then I was not the only one? This island is a sacred one. To see it besieged by such vital forces makes my blood boil. Forgive me for being so brash, but I'd ask you for your aid in dealing with them. I have not the freedom to move from the immediate vicinity. It's all I can do to erect a magic barrier to prevent the beasts of crawling Reisenjima from approaching this location. The Narakas prowling the sacred forest would seize even the smallest chance to destroy this stone wall. Master, I understand your journey has left you weary, but your assistance would be a great boon. Please, lend me your sword and spell to vanquish the Narakas that threaten to overrun me. I'd lend you my glaive if I could, but Master, let me ask this one boon of you. They will be spawning momentarily, and we do have to kill 3 of them. They will spawn at 8 in game time. Put on our proper killing gear. And I'm hoping they spawn, like, right nearby. Very tough. You know what? I think it will be worth engaging these things and seeing what they are actually like. Not if there's multiples of you. Not in close proximity like that. Valnerial. Okay, for something that's very tough, they're not that tough. Though they have physically stopped me from engaging the next guy. Let's check the combat for the region. Conflict in Reizenjima. There we go. The Penopets, the Tigers, them, the Faz, the Mantises, the Skeeters. Those are all back at the beginning. The Toads, the Hippogriffs, the Beetles. Anyway, how much rewards did we get for murdering them? 5,000 limit points? That's not bad at all for merit points. That's half a limit point apiece. Like this is an excellent location to be grinding limit points at. And it was 1,000 capacity, 1,000 boosted capacity. That's not terrible either. They have... Okay, and they do respawn at these things do respawn at a decent rate. It would appear they have not, in fact, spawned... Ah, there they are. Now these things are supposedly a type of undead, so they should react to Valnerial's presence. Now, the reason I guess we wanted the Mollifier was to prevent the NM from spawning. But that doesn't cause us too much of a headache at the moment. With that, we move on to the next one, in which we talk to Iroha yet again. Master, wait! Now we have reached the Sanctorum, where the new crystal resides. Master, as you have doubtlessly realized, this is the crystal that Selterus relinquished his corporeal form to create. Though the crystal may still be young, it shines as brightly as any other. That it does. The emptiness that remains in the far east in the future will be banished thanks to this beacon of hope. But despite this, the coming darkness will not be stopped. This is true. But ere long, a murky gloom will seep forth from the mother crystals throughout Vanadiel, a corrosive force destroying them from within. This crystal, and this crystal alone, remained safe thanks to you, Master, and your allies. My prayers were answered, erecting an ethereal shield to shelter this area from harm. As such, Razanlima will remain the only land that the void did not overcome. And the night before the final struggle was to take place, you made an impossible decision. Every victory comes with a price. Master, those were the words you spoke to me. Your decision was made with the best of intentions, yet it was an incorrect one. Why? For beyond was the cold, undying stare of another you. For all the light you've worked together, is it possible that another's gathering umbral puissance? That's why I was permitted to cross the boundaries of time to come to you. Yet my greatest anguish was how utterly powerless I was. Master, all your sacrifices were made to save me. Please, it would be a burden off my shoulders if you blamed me outright, rather than forcing me to suffer in silence. Why would I blame you? Master, please, I beg you. It is not your fault, Master. Your words of compassion have moved me yet again. I promise Vertone that all that I have, or will have, put you through. If the only way to prevent you from succumbing to darkness is by filling the orb with light, then that is what we shall do. Not just for you, but to reclaim all that you may have sacrificed. The ambassador infused you with a flood of darkness? Though this does not affect our mission, it does bring a greater sense of urgency. Let us head to Adeline, one of the many places you described to me. But you've already been there. Let us make haste. I shall meet you on the archipelago. I must take a short while to recover. Please, go on ahead. My heart. It's about to burst. Is this it? Is this how I meet my end? And we lose her yet again. Every time with this Iroha. I swear. I swear. She keeps on disappearing at the weirdest and worst times. Specifically, supposedly, we need to speak with Darcia? That doesn't sound right. Yeah, Rhapsodies were on the Crucible, which is 3-4. Correct? Yeah, that's correct. Apparently we need to talk to Darcia in Lower Juno. Meanwhile, the game is like, be sure and be logged out. Hey, how's it going? Right, they're up at the other end. And I keep forgetting that's a thing. Because I only ever come to Lower Juno to talk to Grayson. So that's the default location I go to. Good lord. That upper left-hand corner thing, as useful as it is, I'm probably going to end up having to disable it. And I believe Darcia is in the Chamber of Commerce here. Yeah, there you are, Darcia. This is something completely different. Unless we just need to go to the Caesaric Battlegrounds. Which is what this is saying, but we're still supposed... I mean, it's unfortunate that, Bellamore. What are you doing with Iroha?
Oh, look who we have here. I suppose you expected me to exit stage left. Yet here I stand before you, as full of vim and vigor as always. I myself could not have written a more fabulous reunion. Tut. But before you attempt to lay waste to me once more, shouldn't you at least offer words of congratulation at my surviving? Huh? Oh no, I have nothing to do with her being in this piteous state. Cross my heart and hope to die. I arrived here, and here she was, sprawled on the ground like a discarded prop. Come to think of it, I do recall seeing her before. I just wanted to ask her if she intended to try out for the main role of this Ubucken stage, or if she'd rather play a bit part. Oh, but no need to thank me. I've never had a flair for the restorative. Master, I met him. The ambassador. I confronted him, tried to force him to purge the darkness within you. But I couldn't. He escaped. Forgive me. Come, what did you expect? Perhaps you already realized. That masked man, that masked you, surely is something else. That apple fell pretty far from the tree, What horrible thing turned you astray? Betrayal, despair, malediction, voodoo? Your little friend here seems ready to kick the bucket. Not like I do much to help her, but I'll be more than pleased to watch over her until her inevitable demise. Perhaps a little mood lighting would be in order. Maybe some dramatic music. Don't leave. If not, we'll be together before long. Must tell you something before. The master said, when the orb is filled with light, the reckoning will be at hand. That can only mean that he came into existence when the reckoning occurred. I had hoped to be there with you till the very end. Master, in my future you left, leaving me behind. The crystal's reverberations, Celtus' voice. Eventually they all left me. All I could do was wait for the end, for the cloud to engulf me. But the world stood frozen in time, with nary a sunrise nor sunset. And then a divine voice called out to me. Argentima was the only place left on Vanadiel, and countless worlds had succumbed to darkness. You must reverse the reckoning. Reverse the reckoning, even at the cost of Vanadiel herself. So I reached out to the light, and it brought me here. And we're going to get disconnected before this cutscene even finishes. You must make many journeys, learn many things, meet many people. The orb. You must... Well, this is a new one. I expected a corpse, and here we are with your lovely little friend vanishing into thin air. But I'll give her this. For Hume, she's got some spunk. Her musings. Did you skip to the end of a script without reading the middle? So this emptiness eats up her world and she time warps her way back to us? Maybe I shouldn't be the one to talk, but doesn't this strike you as a touch unfair? And you've got quite the curious role in this whole affair, too. Different than her, mind you, but amusing nonetheless. Though I suppose that's a mystery best left for later. At any rate, whatever power she's got didn't stop her from expiring. And that leaves it up to you to carry out her last will and testament. Could you imagine the tears rolling down those cheeks if she came back and you were off playing boom or bust over in Adeline? Not that I put that past you. And let's be frank, the two of you have been nothing but thorns in my side ever since I tried to suck the life out of Tartarus and who knows how many other worlds. But of course, I'd be remiss to let such a tale of love end in anything other than pure, unadulterated tragedy. And so, I have a little gift for you. Your precious little orb. I'll just take an inkling of its juices as a surcharge. Now, tell me if that doesn't rest a bit lighter in your pockets. And as an extra parting gift, I'll leave you with your memories of your dearly departed. Don't say old Belmore never gave you anything.
I'm surprised we're still in game. It's 1:30 here. It's 10:30 East. It's should be 10:30 Pacific. Unless I was all huff and puff for nothing. Which I would not be surprised if it was. Okay, it's just the Chocobo circuit. Here I was panicking over nothing. Apparently they were doing Chocobo maintenance, which I didn't know that was a thing. I guess that's what happens when reading comprehension just goes out the window.
Belmore? The very same creature that possessed Framilla and knocked Shadow Montero flat on his back? I know where to look. Rallo Waterways. Pioneers have been submitting reports about strange black butterflies down there. Princess! I see. So the Caesaric battlegrounds has become more of a hotspot than usual. Belmore. The wounds we suffered at what he did may never heal. Come, Ragnios, to the waterways! If those black butterflies are what I think, then they might lead us to the truth.
Yeah, that is the first time I've seen a specific message about chocobo racing maintenance. So that's what kind of threw me into a panic, because I have been online when they've done maintenance before, and they will just kick you right out, and I'm like, oh no, we're not got anything done. The one in B6. That's the one... That's the one we fought him in. Should be able to sneak by these dynamites. Of course. Right. It looks like it connects, but it never does. The waterways are a weird and mysterious place. The slimes, they can't sense us either, which is a good thing. And then the eft. Wow, that was amazingly fast maintenance. That is... Ah, the glowing things towards the entrance. Ah, yes! My most adoring fan! If I weren't so tickled to see you, I might call you a stalker. But to think you brought your lovely princess along for front row seats! That same old soliloquy would seem so contrived now, wouldn't it? First the castle, now the waterways. What nefarious scheme have you hatched this time? Leave Adeline and return to the vile domain from whence you come from. Nefarious scheme? Oh, my dearest Arciella, you're sorely mistaken. I'm having a grand old time just watching the scene play out. And besides, there's no wisdom in messing with your betters. And you should be thanking me. I've decided to stop trying to create a new world and save this one instead. Of course, I still plan to make myself the protagonist. And Rachnios, there's so much to be gained from joining hands and becoming part of my union. You'd refuse my generous offer? And after how much effort it took for me to come back from who knows what world? You came from another world? What are you on about?
Tut tut. You're not gonna get me showing my hand that easily. Can't I just bring a little bit of humor and uncertainty into your lives? What's more, young one, it would take far too much energy to explain to you the tedious story of how Rachnios and his pale-faced friend, what was his name? Selbina, Celtis. Ah, yes, Celtis. How he and Celtis ruined my week. And on the way back, I had to hop from world to world, making discovery upon discovery. And I did my own little research as I went. For each world fell, in turn, that is. All the worlds? Falling? Rachnios, what is he? Not too far in the future, all the worlds I visited, and presumably those I didn't, will fall to a force known as the emptiness. Even Vanity Hell? You mean you haven't heard? Oh, this is a rich twist of events! And so, Rachnios, I took a look at some of that essence I borrowed from your little orb. See, I figured I could throw a wrench in this whole emptiness business. But like any good drama, the conclusion I came to wasn't so simple. Your orb has in fact been filled with the power of light. Or would it be more accurate to say the power of life? Either way, it transcends the boundaries of time and space. And I must confess that, although it may seem a bit of a tired trope, the gods themselves would be jealous upon what you stumbled upon. As am I. And so I'd like you to lend your orb a little bit of my power, if for no other reason than to see how far down this rabbit hole goes. But everything has a price. For my little surcharge, I would be for you to bring me an orb once wielded by your pretty princess's long-dead relative, the Founder King. And don't mind me. I'll be just taking a little nap in the meantime. So come back when you found it, and then we'll be on with the show! One of the Founder King's relics? Here? Why would I even be unaware of this? There's no way to entrust an artifact to that two-faced jester. Ugh, I can see them. The memories of the times we shared together. I don't know why. Oh, I forgot. She does have an accent. But thinking about the journeys we had brings me a sense of peace. Rachnios, I know now that the right thing to do is to found the Founder King's artifact, do you? But my position in the city is a delicate one, and will pretend I've never heard of such an object. So please, do with it what you will. Just please promise me that you will share any new information you glean from Balamor. And we have acquired, actually, her trust as well. And now, we need to C6. Now we need to wander all the way back. In order to go to the secret hideout. And we haven't been to that secret hideout since, like, the beginning of Adeline.
It says we only need sneak. But sneak is not... That's only the sound-based one, really? You're saying we only need the sound-based one? I mean, that is possible. The Flans clearly don't have eyes, and neither do the dire mites. The good old rebels' secret hideout. It's been a while since we've been here. But there's this inconspicuous barrel. Very, very inconspicuous. Or so it claims. I'm not gonna pretend that it actually is, but... yeah, it would seem that is a thing. The dire mites appear not wanting to attack us. That's good to see. Right, and we did have to go around and then down. I mean, it makes sense that the slimes wouldn't be able to see us. The efts, on the other hand, they might be a different thing. Well, the Fs also appear to be sound-based, which is surprising considering they do have eyes. It all began with a stone, or so the legend says. In ages past, a sentient jewel, enormous and beautiful, banished the darkness. In its many-colored light, filled the world with life and brought forth mighty gods. What a quaint little ditty, wouldn't you say? And one which a Midlander such as yourself would have heard many times before. It began with a stone, a many-colored light banishing the darkness. But neither of us really thinks that the darkness is the emptiness, It's the void. And what threatens your lovely friend's future isn't the emptiness either. It's the void. With a capital V? Isn't it your job to put the pieces together? Because it's certainly not mine. Come now, less standing around stupefied, more handing me the Founder King's orb. Sure. It's not like either of us had a use for it. Some 1,000 years ago, Adelin's founder king, August, came across enormous magical power and sealed away Hades. Who came to learn of a place called Tartarus. And the enormous magical power is central to how the story unfolds. And he came into contact with my homeland, The place where I was born. Yes, this orb. It's from my world.
Yes, I remember so clearly now. We refer to the void as the cloud of darkness.
How can I explain this to someone with your, mental capacity? It's not alive. It's not dead. I don't even know. I don't know if it even is. It eats away at light and darkness, halting all life and making as if it never existed to begin with. That is its purpose, if you can even call it that. And what I learned is that my world, your Venediel, and countless other stars that exist are but islands floating within this cloud. The cloud doesn't think or feel, but does shift and move, just like the clouds you and I are familiar with. With each blow of the wind, it moves, grows, shrinks, and dissipates. And as it does, it engulfs any worlds that stand in its way. And if your world is unlucky enough to be caught in its path, then poof. Not that I've had the ill fortune of seeing or experiencing it. It's just a little something I picked up along the way. I couldn't care less whether you believe me or not. That's for you to decide. But you probably should, especially now that your orb is filled with a little bit of me. What did you call it? Trust? Even I couldn't come up with a more fitting name. Not that I have any idea how you came to manipulate such powers. But the fact that such a thing is possible, couldn't that be a sign she gave you? But I grow bored of this. Let me return what I borrowed. Have you seen the script? This is the part where you show me the orb. Sometimes the most unexpected of paths emerges from the most taxing of trials. Beauty incarnate, no? And so, Arachnios, I take my leave. Perhaps we'll be fortunate enough to cross paths again someday. Oh, Balamor. One of the more interesting of characters. We still don't know what their deal is. And they've made it abundantly clear. Their home is not Tartarus. They are not a Tartarian like Hades is. At least, not in the way Hades is. And I suppose with no one else to consult, I suppose we need to consult with Arciela. She may or may not have access to more information. But first we gotta locate her. In the one location we always find her. to the library. Because where else would she be? I mean, let's be honest. Oh, yeah. See, the library isn't even in this. Yeah, it's not even in this Adeline. Now, take me to Eastern Adeline, the Mog House. I rent a room, because it's right there. Eppel Treppel, let us in.
Ah, dearest Arachnios, to what do we owe the honor today? Princess Arciella? She's in the closed stacks looking for information on the Founder King.
Ah, you've got your book again. You've got your cookbook again.
Ah, Arachnios, are the end times truly upon us?
If Belmore's to be trusted.
Life throws so many trials at us, and it's how we overcome them that displays who we truly are. Just as we vanquished Hades and pieces returned to Adeline. Of course I'd wish to help in any way I can. I scoured these shelves to see what I could learn about what Belmore said about beginning with a stone. It seems there's something to do with the place called Letteralore, located in the Middlelands, your homeland. The annals say the statues located in Eastern Adeline's Goddess Promenade was fashioned after a similar creation in the ruins located there. And maybe you could learn more about the Pride of Darkness if you search the ruins yourself. Oh, it chills me to the bone to think August had dealings with the world Bellamore once called home. If Bellamore's 1,000 years old, then how could he maintain his form for so long? There must be some kind of connection. I'd go with you, but there's pressing matters at the palace to which I must attend. But please, come see me if you find something out. Perhaps that orb of yours is truly the key.
And, well, there are a couple of ways to do that. I think the fastest way to do that is going to... Or we could use the Romave survival guide, or we could go to the gardens, but it is saying that the survival guide is technically faster. Teleportation assistance. Le Talor. Todromov. Right, these puppets are going to be a minor problem. Oh, if they were aggressive, which they are not. Eshentarl, also known as Lady Mildarian.
I had an inkling you'd be here. You must be taken aback to be reunited with me here of all places. To think we had prevented the world from ending one way, only to find it would end another. And Iroha, is she not with you? Please, appraise me of what you've learned thus far. So Iroha has expired, and yet returned to this mortal coil. Revival is in the realm of the gods, and if she's not yet returned, it may be because they do not permit it. Should she be struggling in earnest against the void, this cloud of darkness, then it is but a matter of time before they see fit to bring her once more. Unless their own powers have begun to wane and have little time left.
Oh, that would not be good, if Phoenix's power is waning.
Only the ancients, the Zealot, possess a means by which to open these gates. But you are already in possession of a cerulean crystal. I should have expected no less.
Of course, Eshentarl. You should have known. Once the hitbox loads in.
Long have I awaited thine arrival. Welcome, warriors of light, to the Temple of Altana, a place where knowledge comes to be lost. Lady Yevanel serves the goddess of the dawn in all her incarnations, and is the custodian of the gate by which she can be reached. Lady Eshentarl, thy presence doth come as a surprise. To think one such as thyself would come posing questions for me. A young woman has traversed time itself to speak with Rachnios. She claimed that existence, which some call the Void, then existence known as the Void, and others call the Cloud of Darkness, has come to claim Vanadiel. The Cloud of Darkness, you say? Alas, I can confess to hearing that name only once before in my lifetime. The prophecies say that the cloud of darkness is fated to descend upon this land once the 5 pieces of the mother crystal have turned to dust. Were the pieces to be made whole once more, it's perhaps possible to avoid the most gloomy of futures. But that day will signal the end of Vanadiel. Yet even the struggles of the vaunted Warriors of Light would mean naught against the coming purge. Then pray tell, is there aught we can do? If we cannot stop it while mortal, then we must walk the path of the gods. You would have Arachnios become a god? You mean he must cast off the bonds of the emptiness that shackle all who were born and are destined to die? Some would say you speak madness. But I cannot deny if such a ritual succeeded. I shall not lade my words with honey. The idea is so dangerous that failure can end only in death. Yet, should thou choose to walk this path of thorns, I shall help clear the way, for only one such as thou can make the journey.
There they are, warriors of the crystal. That was the archangels. I've already beaten them. Well, in one form.
You and you alone have the potential to guide them.
Oh, but Rachnios, if he wants to become a god of light, then I shall intervene.
What manner of trickery is this?
Yevnoel will have to suffer in this world no longer. I would like to burn this place to ash, but there are more pressing matters to attend to. You vanquished me when my power approached its zenith, and attempted to thwart me every step of the way. And yet I know more than any how you will attempt to become a god of light. I've come this far, and by any means, I will impede your apotheosis. In this world, there can be no light without darkness. Are you truly so arrogant as to believe this world needs no darkness to thrive? In a world with nothing but light, how will the dead find eternal slumber? Before you act, you must think. It's only a matter of time before the cloud of darkness swallows all.
Arachnios! Arachnios! I see. So that master man is, for lack of a better term, a future you that has succumbed to darkness. A fallen angel, if you will. But I sense your words do not ring false. But let us reflect. If he came to our time to prevent you from becoming a god of light, then the logical conclusion that you have the capability to do so. So you wish to know a more concrete method for becoming a god of light? Would be that I could provide you with the answers, but I cannot surmise what Yves Noel had in mind. Perhaps Celtus in Paradise would have the answers you seek. However, should I not have made this clear before? You must make many sacrifices in order to discard your mortal form and ascend. You will become more than any one person was meant to be, and rise to a plane where you will no longer be able to interact with friends and loved ones. Let there be no doubt, the path is a lonely one.
No. I suppose it is time to go speak with Celtus, although he no longer exists in Paradise. And having completed that one, I've finally unlocked, and this has been a thorn in my side for a while, mainly due to trusts being, well, trusts. You can actually get the archangels as trusts, but you can't turn them in and acquire all of them until just now. You have to finish that last mission in order to do that, which that has been a major stumbling block in my grind over here, because XIV is often considered one of the better tank trusts, like substantially. But as I said, there's only one place to meet Celtus now. And that's in the Resentima Sanctorum, where he is now the Crystal. Right, I keep forgetting we have to go to the northern area. But at least by picking up all the warp points, we can successfully traverse there easier. It is nighttime in Resenjima. Let us go. And for 42 Eshasilt, that is pennies. Pennies. Oh, Arachnios. Arachnios, can you hear me? I am pleased that you found your way back to me. Far be it from me to remind you of how worried she was about you. For a time traveler, she is exceptionally slippery.
Master, each second passed like hours.
Are you well?
No, I cannot say I'm whole yet. All people must one day return to the Mother Crystal. And Iroha herself resides within this one. Together with her is the same force that has brought her back countless times. Phoenix. A countless time Phoenix deemed fit to revive me, and I fear this time it needs to rest.
Phoenix claims that Iroha's spirit may no longer be able to withstand the journey.
Master, when I fell in Zizek battlegrounds, and I expired with Bellamore looming over me, what happened afterwards?
Oh, a lot of things.
Then the force that threatens us is no mere emptiness. It's a cloud of darkness? An ill portent indeed. I'm not the most learned person, so I must confess to never having heard that name before.
Nor have I. Lady Yevnoel's wisdom stretches eons beyond ours. Arachnios, would it be fair to understand that you are to face this cloud of darkness head on? And Yevnoel set you on the path to become a god of light.
Is such a thing possible? For a man to become a god?
Then the only path left for you is to use the power of this crystal, which requires us to break it.
Break it?
It's but a matter of time before the emptiness resumes its endless march across the Far East. And many souls remain in slumber inside the crystals. They can lend you your power, and as they join you, they will not cease to exist, but rather become one with you. Perhaps that's the key to becoming a god of light.
Master, I wish there was some way to avoid having to pay such a heavy cost.
Is this truly the only option?
Will this lead us to stopping the cloud of darkness?
I'll do what must be done.
Master, if this is your decision, then I shall follow you across to the ends of Vanadiel. I shall raise my voice to join the chorus of the tens of thousands singing songs of hope.
It's not so simple. Ragnas cannot hope to make that journey in his current state.
Then what hope do we have?
Ragnas, a swell of darkness clouds your mind and spirit. I mean, he's not wrong. I know you struggle to fight against it, and I can scarce fathom the pain it must cause you.
Master, I did not know.
The Master's goal was doubtless to prevent you from becoming the God of Light. And in Iroha's future, you will be overcome by that darkness, giving birth to that abomination.
Are we doomed? Are there none who can pierce the veil?
Perhaps there is one from another world. You will recall that there are countless worlds existing parallel to Vanadiel. Some you're aware of, others not. In one such world, one where you've never ventured, exists a god of darkness in its pure form. Oh, is that the Abyssia?
Dare I ask what this means?
I will not lie. From the blackest darkness comes the deepest fear, and perhaps it will overcome you. Yet such a being will desire to absorb the darkness within you as its own. And clashing with a god of such strength may yield clues about this cloud of darkness.
Master, do you plan to go through with this?
Yes. When you're resolved, take this with you and make haste to the Walk of Echoes.
Though I may not have physical form, I know that I am with you in spirit, and pray for your safety. Remain vigilant, not just for my sake, but for yours. Now, there are a couple of ways to enter the Walk of Echoes. But specifically, we have to enter the Walk of Echoes that does not lead to the Walk of Echoes Battlegrounds. Which is... I mean, they're both the Walk of Echoes, but it's a different they're different sections. It's Budicine.
There it is, Batilda Downs. The fastest way to do it is there's glowing question marks next to the cavernous Namaws in Batilda, Rollenberry, and Saramungu. The champagne. These will take you to the correct Walk of Echoes, or you could walk to the vertical conflux in Grauberg, or use the one in Paschal Marshlands, which requires Void Watch.
Well. Evident Arachnios comes back to say hello and give his regards. And what's the most curious curio you've brought along? A timely compass for a timely place. Yet who could fashion something so mysterious? Is this friend of yours human? In the end, it matters not. Makes not one iota of difference. Oh, you wish to go to this and use this and go to a different world. One where your god of darkness exists. Well, that world was a bit less successful than Vanadiel, and its name has been lost to the annals of history. Utterly wiped from the record. I've never been one to pussyfoot around in a difficult situation, but even Atamos couldn't make me go in there. But if you really want to go through with this, I'm not about to stop you. Word of caution, a bit of warning. You'll be accosted by Altana knows what from the moment you draw your first breath. Don't let your lack of preparation be the end of you. Spell your demise.
And we are looking for the white shiny.
A glutton for punishment, then. There's a whole buffet waiting for you just beyond. Forks and knives at the ready. Ugh, I knew it was a mistake to come here. My whiskers are beginning to wilt, droop most unseemly. Yeah, you will need this if you want to proceed any further. Make some kind of headway. Just please, don't lose it. Not that I don't have any spares, mind you.
Now, this boss, Sempurn, is a version of Shinryu, who is the boss of Abyssia. Only reason I know this is because Final Walk from the third walk from 14's raid series. Return to Vana'diel ends with Shinryu. From, as they say, Vana'diel's twin, where everything fell apart, where the darkness won. That is Shinryu.
Over there, standing right in front of us, is your so-called God of Darkness. Simply put, it's Promathia in his ascended form. Absolute and complete. Come now, it's up to you to make the first room. A little parlay never hurt anyone.
Well, never again would I have thought to see one such as thee. Answers thou seekest, answers thou shalt have. Darkness hath many forms: apathy, arrogance, cowardice, envy, rage, and of course, death. These are the powers over which I hold domain. Yet the cloud of darkness is a wholly separate entity.
So if it's not your darkness, then what exactly?
The cloud of darkness is destined to envelop all. We shall finally have to release. Dost thou wish to meet Altana in this despite?
Release? You wish to die? Arachnios, I think he might be cracked. Lost his marbles. But since he's asking for it, why not give him an old what for?
Why do you want to die?
Would that be the only way to stop? Would that not be the only way to stop the cloud's approach? Through the god of death, through the death of a god?
Yeah, Arachnios! Arachnios?
A day late and a gill short.
Not you again!
An almighty god of darkness. What did you accomplish by absorbing Arachnios' tainted energies? Show me what you've done.
And
no time like the future. It is time. Not truly Shinryu, since Shinryu is Abyssia. And we will throw down Celtis for the fun of it. We need Crusade up. Probably Blink as well. and then we engage. Ooh, he does have a lot of health. This is probably the most health we've seen on an enemy in a long time. There's multiple reasons I brought Celtis around. Mostly for the health regen that he includes. And I'm pretty sure I'm wearing the incorrect ring. But we have in fact destroyed him. Oh, and Celtis gets the last spear of light directly through him. And Radiance, I'd never imagined such a thing to be possible for one such as thee. So be it. I shall reclaim that which I had once given. You're still unclean, Rachnios. Abandon your futile attempt of turning into a god of light. And to ensure my victory, I shall fill you with impurity once more. Promathia, why'd you intervene? Thou art an appropriate vessel for twilight, yet thou remainest chained to the cloud of darkness. Come, find thy true form as a god of darkness.
Oh, heavens above! What just happened? Oh, and I'm completely confused, baffled and bemused. How'd we get all the way out here? Ragnas, I thought you'd already taken care of your friend. The masked madman is you from the future? Perhaps I was too hasty, jumped to conclusions. Well, that would explain why the world didn't go all pear-shaped when he popped into existence. So what I saw when he first appeared in the Walk of Echoes was more than just a mere phantasm. Figment of my imagination. He's you. At least there's one conclusion we can draw from this. You may be able to kill him, but he can't kill you. But perhaps we're too late. Oh.
Rachnios, come to me.
He's there, Rachnios, waiting for you. He's received Prometheus' power, has been reborn as a divinity himself. I can't go any further. He's only permitted you to enter. Well, the demon within has become the demon without. Stay on your guard.
Well, he did say balance is needed. And where a god of light exists, so must a one of darkness.
Look what the cat dragged in. Promathia, the god of darkness, had seen fit to render unto me the powers of godhood. And the cloud of darkness's hold over me has been utterly obliterated. And so now, I'm able to lead you to the proper future. The proper reckoning. Come, witness what I have witnessed. Witness what shall come to pass.
And so countless cycles of the moon passed. The void's tendrils choked Vanadiel, a lone crystal shining as a beacon against the darkness. How many worlds succumbed? None could say. And on Vanadiel, the only place left was in Reisenjima.
Vanadiel, she's vanishing before our very eyes.
Iroha, now is not the time to abandon hope. Lord Arachnios, you mentioned having one last card to play. Have you gone so far as to think it will actually work?
Master?
Iroha, if we cannot place our faith in Lord Arachnios, what other hope do we have?
This was the reckoning. The decision that I, or rather your future self, came to. For you shed all the darkness in your soul to ascend, to become a god of light. For that was the only way to banish the void. Did we make it? We have.
Now is the time to...
For Vanadiel.
Oh, goodness.
Iroha, steel yourself.
Just a little longer.
Even Matt. And lose off himself. all the souls of those we have helped along the way. It looks like we may have succeeded.
Iroha, the barrier, no! Praise be, victory is within our grasp. Your body, Rekidios! Arachnios?
Managed to stave off the assault.
Iroha, I'm so proud of you.
Father? I've made a grave error. This darkness is not what I had surmised. Other half. This is not how Vanadiel is saved.
Inside the barrier now.
Father?
Iroha, don't!
Phoenix, please. Save my daughter.
Arachnios had become an entity of pure light, spelling every shadow that lay within him. He ascended to greatness, finding himself in Ruhmut, and was there, at last Altana's voice reached him.
My child, thy will hath preserved thee, but thou art human no longer. Those who have fallen, despite your efforts, all life shall be extinguished. You became a god of light, but I was overtaken by the cloud of darkness, doubtless owing to being an entity of pure darkness. The cloud cares not for light or darkness, for neither can stop its eternal hunger. Our separating into two entities was wholly without meaning. The time has come for us to return to our world, for me to return something of yours. Altana and I await you.
Nay, back in one piece. None the worse for where. None the worse for where. The world ends exactly as I have been told.
Though I understood it intellectually, hearing it casts a gloom over this entire place. Chills me to the core. Hold on. Let's think about this a tad. The future you saw is what would come to pass if you would become a god of light. No? And those who joined you from the crystal, their spirits rejoined you once more, even though they no longer existed in this world. Even though you could call people back from the grave, it amounted to nothing in the end.
Was it futile? I'm afraid it was. I see.
So the cloud of darkness cannot be stopped by either the you or the other you. All life vanished from Vanadiel either way. I think I understand now. That's why the other you tried to prevent the reckoning. Then there's but one question left. Where do we go from here? Go to Altana? Have you gone mad? Totally taken leave of your senses. Not that I don't know where she is, mind you. But knowing where she is and knowing how to get there are two entirely separate matters. Not even I can find my way there. But if your friend Celtis turned into a crystal, he might be able to open a path for you. Guide you along the way. Well, you've got your plan. Now put it into action.
And well, we've now achieved our Rhapsodies in Puce. And that puts us at about halfway-ish. About halfway-ish. I don't want to... I want to say that's where we're gonna call it for today. As I'm looking through and seeing where we are and where things go, realistically, between this one and the next Burning Circle, there really isn't another spot I think would be thematically an appropriate place to end the stream for today. We've clearly gotten done what I expected to get done and then some. I mean, we're halfway through Chapter 3, which means theoretically, the last of Chapter 3 should be all done on Saturday. I'll get that room built and that waiting room up. Apparently Zeta's being invaded. Good. So that's where we're gonna have to call it, I think, for today. We'll see everybody Friday for the demo for Tearscape, or Tearscape. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. That one looks to be fun. I meant to do it last week, but we were suffering some... we were needing recovery time. It's unfortunate, because I really wanted to do what'll be next week's demo this week, especially considering the game just came out, and from what I've seen, it's like, but that'll have to wait for next week. So after Final Fantasy XI, I'm just gonna say this because I haven't yet made the game list public. I'm still working on it. There's still some things I'm figuring out about formatting and things like that. Especially making sure people have who are not me only have view-only permissions, because that would be terrible otherwise. We'll be taking some time and doing the Mega Man Legacy Collection before jumping into Neo 2, which is the next major game to play, is Neo 2. Because I do like the Neo games as much as I complained about the DLC section of Neo 1, which, yes, I did, specifically, for various reasons. If you saw the ending, you know that we were slightly underleveled at the end when we completed Neo, and the original Neo, but the DLCs just expected a severe level jump and somehow tons of better equipment, even though the equipment I had was better than anything that was dropping, so still not sure what they meant by that, but that was the game. It ended on a very sour note. Normally difficult games are not a problem, but and I will push through most problems, but that DLC boss, we made it to the boss of the first DLC, but I was not having a good time in that level, and the boss just completely was like, you know what? No. He just was not worth fighting. And Neo 2 refines a lot more things than Neo 1 had, so theoretically it's better paced. Hopefully no additional real grinding is necessary to complete things. Hopefully time slowing is a lot less broken. But I wouldn't mind if it was. Just to try and get to Neo 3, because Neo 3 just, it's open world. That thing is gonna be, glorious. But we'll see everybody for Tearscape on Friday, 12:30, midnight 30. And then Saturday, 2 p.m. for hopefully what will be the conclusion of Rhapsodies of Vana'diel. We'll see you then.